Let's talk about Elon Musk, the guy who's always in the headlines, tweeting up a storm, and somehow managing to be both a hero and a villain depending on who you ask. He's the Tesla CEO, the SpaceX mastermind, and now, apparently, a key player in Donald Trump's administration, pushing for some radical reshaping of the federal government. But here's the thing. While Trump is out there screaming "Made in America" and waging a trade war with China, guess what Elon's doing? He's quietly opening a massive new factory in China. Yeah, you heard that right. A $200 million megapack battery plant in Shanghai, right next to Tesla's existing Gigafactory. And it's not just any factory, it's a big deal and raising some serious eyebrows. Now let's set the stage. It's February 2025, and the US-China trade war is heating up. Trump's back in office, and he's doubling down on his America First rhetoric. Tariffs and tensions are flying, and American companies feel the squeeze. Trump's pushing for manufacturing to return to the US, promising jobs, growth, and all that patriotic stuff. And who's one of his biggest cheerleaders? Elon Musk. The same Elon who's been cozying up to Trump, advising him on economic policy, and even leading something called the US Doge Service, whatever that is. Elon's in Washington, shaking hands, making deals, and acting like he's all in on the Made in America dream. But then, behind the scenes, he's doing the exact opposite. On February 11th, Tesla opened this new megapack battery plant in Shanghai. It's a huge facility designed to churn out massive batteries for energy storage, and it's a $200 million investment. This isn't a small project. It's a major expansion of Tesla's operations in China. However, Elon didn't even attend the opening ceremony. He was too busy in Washington playing politics with Trump. But that didn't stop the factory from opening, and it didn't stop the Chinese state media from gushing over it. The paper, a state-run outlet, called it a symbol of Tesla speed and Shanghai speed, saying it's a win-win situation for both Tesla and Shanghai. They're loving it. And why wouldn't they? Tesla's been a golden child in China for years, and this new factory just cements that relationship. But let's not kid ourselves. This isn't just about batteries. This is about Elon Musk playing both sides. On one hand, he's Trump's buddy, talking up American innovation and jobs. On the other hand, he's deepening Tesla's ties to China, a country that Trump is actively trying to punish economically. And it's not like this is a one-off. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory opened in 2019 and is already a massive success. It produced its 3 millionth car in October last year. China is Tesla's second largest market after the US. Beijing welcomed Tesla with open arms, partly to boost its electric vehicle industry. It worked, and Chinese companies like BYD are now outpacing Tesla in EV production. In fact, Tesla ranked only 10th in Chinese car sales last year, according to the China Passenger Car Association. So, while Elon's busy playing politics in Washington, his company's facing stiff competition in China. And yet, he's doubling down, opening another factory. Now, let's talk about the timing. This isn't just happening in a vacuum. Elon's been making moves in China for a while, and it's not exactly a secret. In April 2024, he surprisingly visited Beijing, meeting with Premier Li Qiang. Li called Tesla's China operations a successful example of Sino-US economic and trade cooperation. That's a big deal, especially when US-China relations are low. Posts on X at the time were buzzing with speculation. Some users pointed out that Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory was financed with $1.4 billion in loans from Chinese state-controlled banks, raising questions about whether Elon is exposed to pressure from the Chinese government. Others noted that more than 90% of the components for the Shanghai factory come from Chinese suppliers. That's a lot of reliance on China, especially for someone supposed to be all about American innovation. And here's where it gets messy. Elon's not just a businessman, he's a political figure now. He's advising Trump and pushing for tariffs and restrictions on Chinese goods. At the same time, Elon's factories are built in China, taking advantage of their resources, workforce, and market. It's a blatant contradiction. Trump's trying to bring manufacturing back to the US, but Elon's betting on China. And let's not forget, this new Megapack factory isn't just about making batteries. It's about strengthening Tesla's position in a market where it's already struggling. Chinese EV makers are innovating faster, and Tesla is losing ground. So, while Elon's talking up American jobs in Washington, he's quietly investing in China to stay competitive. Now, let's dig into the factory itself. This Megapack plant is designed to produce 10,000 megapacks a year, translating to nearly 40 gigawatt-hours of energy storage. That's a lot of power and a big deal for Tesla's energy business. It is said that it could generate $8 to $10 billion in annual revenue once fully ramped up. But here's the thing. While Tesla's celebrating this new facility, it's also exposing itself to more risk. The US-China tech war is heating up, and American companies are under scrutiny for their ties to China. The American Chamber of Commerce in Shanghai has reported diminishing optimism among its members about the Chinese market. And yet, Elon's doubling down, betting that Tesla can navigate this mess. But can he really? Some Chinese commentators hope Elon can play a diplomatic role, bridging the gap between the US and China. They see him as a potential go-between, someone who can ease tensions. But let's be real, Trump's administration is full of China hawks, and Elon's influence is limited. And let's not forget the optics. Elon's out in Washington acting like he's all about American innovation, but his actions tell a different story. He opened a factory in China when Trump tried to punish China economically. It's a slap in the face to the Made in America agenda. And for what? To stay competitive in a market where Tesla's already losing ground? To keep his shareholders happy? Or is it just Elon being Elon, doing whatever he wants, consequences be damned? Whatever the reason, it's hard to ignore the hypocrisy. Elon's talking about one game in Washington and playing another in Shanghai. And it's not just about business, it's about power, influence, and the murky world of US-China relations. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Tesla has been a success story in China, and there is no doubt about it. The Shanghai Gigafactory has been a game changer, producing cars for the Chinese market and exports. But this new Megapack factory is different. It's not just about cars, it's about energy storage, a critical piece of Tesla's future. By building it in China, Elon is tying Tesla even closer to a country that is increasingly at odds with the US. It's a risky move, especially when you consider the political climate. Trump's administration is pushing for decoupling, but Elon's arguing it's unnecessary and unrealistic. He's trying to have it both ways, but can he really pull it off? See, Elon Musk's new Megapack factory in Shanghai isn't just a slap in the face to Trump's Made in America agenda. It's a glaring reminder of something bigger. The US is struggling to compete with China in the electric vehicle, EV race, and it's not even close. China's not just winning, it's running laps around the US, and Elon's move proves it. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about why China's dominating the EV game. It's not just about cheap labor or government subsidies, though those play a role. China has the resources, the infrastructure, and the ambition to lead the world in EVs. Take lithium, for example. It's a key component in EV batteries, and China controls a massive chunk of the global supply chain. They don't just mine it, they refine it, process it, and turn it into batteries at a scale the US can't match. According to reports, China refines 60 to 70% of the world's lithium, and they're not slowing down. Then there's cobalt, another critical material. While the Democratic Republic of Congo mines most of it, China dominates the refining process, controlling over 70% of global cobalt refining. And don't forget rare earth metals used in EV motors, like neodymium and dysprosium. China produces over 80% of the world's rare earths and has a stranglehold on the market. Compared to the US, we've got some lithium deposits in Nevada and a few rare earth projects in California. Still, we're nowhere close to China's level. The US is trying to catch up, with companies like Lithium Americas and MP Materials ramping production. Still, it's slow, expensive, and bogged down by regulations. On the other hand, China has spent decades building its supply chain, and they're not waiting around for anyone. And it's not just about raw materials. China's got the manufacturing muscle to back it up. They've built entire cities around EV production, with factories, suppliers, and workers all in one place. Take Shanghai, where Tesla's Gigafactory and new Megapack plant are located. It's a hub for EV innovation, and Tesla's not the only one benefiting from it. Chinese companies like BYD, NIO, and XPeng are pumping out EVs at a breakneck pace, and they're doing it cheaper and faster than anyone else. BYD, for example, sold over 1.8 million EVs last year, surpassing Tesla in global sales. And they're not just selling in China, they're exporting to Europe, Southeast Asia, and even Latin America. Meanwhile, American automakers like Ford and GM are struggling to keep up. Ford lost billions on its EV division, and GM has been slow to roll out new models. So, why is Elon building factories in China? Because he knows the US can't compete. The resources are in China, the manufacturing is in China, and the market is in China. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory already produces over half of its global output, and the new Megapack plant will only deepen that reliance. It's not about patriotism, it's about profit. And Elon's not alone. American businesses have been doing this for decades, chasing cheap labor and low costs in China, while selling their products at high prices back in the US. Take Apple, for example. Foxconn assembles its iPhones in China, using Chinese labor and components. Nike sneakers? Made in China. Even American car companies like GM rely on Chinese factories for parts. And yet, these same companies turn around and blame China for their economic woes, saying they're stealing jobs and flooding the market with cheap goods. Let's call it what it is: disloyalty. American businesses want to have it both ways. They want to exploit China's cheap labor and resources, but they also want to act like victims. Posts on X have been brutal about this, with users saying the US depends on China for almost everything, yet still blames China for their woes. And they're right. Everything's made in China because it's cheaper, faster, and easier. American companies love to talk about innovation, but when it comes to manufacturing, they've outsourced it all. And now they're paying the price. China's not just making stuff, they're innovating too. BYD's Blade battery is safer and cheaper than Tesla's, and NIO's battery swapping stations solve range anxiety. Meanwhile, the US is stuck playing catch-up, and Elon's new factory proves he doesn't even believe in the Made in America dream. But here's the thing, it's not just about Elon. It's about a bigger problem. American businesses have spent decades chasing short-term profits and are now facing the consequences. China has built an EV empire, and the US is falling behind. Trump can talk about tariffs and trade wars all he wants, but it won't change the fact that China's got the resources, the factories, and the market. Elon knows this, and that's why he's in Shanghai. He's not there to help American workers. He's there to keep Tesla alive in a market where it's losing ground. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in our next video.